welcome to this bite-sized session which will provide an overview of behavioural safety. This short session will cover what is behavioural safety, what are the benefits and how it can be implemented in the workplace.
Behavioural science is around the whole concept of why do we do what we do? And usually when you break it down, there are things called antecedents, or things that influenced us before we did something. Then there's the behaviour itself, and obviously then there's the consequences. So when the consequences are positive, we tend to repeat it. So if I do something and you say to me, "Well done, Tom, I appreciate that," there's a good chance I'll repeat it. On the other hand, if I do something and you say to me, "You clown, why did you do that and you should know better?" I'm unlikely to do it. However, that type of response is transient and it can build up resistance. So it's very, very important that we understand why people do what they do and then reward them. So behavioural safety in the workplace is about that. It's about understanding why people do what they do, and fundamentally it's about understanding the culture in which people work. Because culture is hugely influential. And when culture is positive, there's a positive environment, people tend to be more productive, and most definitely people are safer. When a company sets about implementing this, what we work with them to do is to fully understand the concept. And we start with the CEO and his or her management team. Because unless this is integrated into the way they run their business, it'll never work. So we understand how you run your business, and the CEO understands what the main component parts of it are. And we start off by making sure there's an absolute commitment to zero harm in the workplace, and that you understand what that takes. We set out a plan and we involve the workers in that process. So there has to be meaningful consultation and understanding. It's not something that can be done overnight. It's a process of continuous improvement, but neither should it be hugely costly. And definitely it should not require a parallel system to be implemented over and above the way you currently manage the business. So we get to a point after discussion with the core frontline staff and other staff and the CEO, that the main, let's say, 5 key themes that cause most of the grief in that particular company. And we talk about then how this safely can be done, so that there's no ambiguity. A lot of the time when people come, there's ambiguity about a number of things. And we usually focus on what we call the 3 R's. There's ambiguity about a person's role, because since the time they were employed, things have changed, people have moved on, and there's confusion about role. Their actual responsibilities. What are they precisely responsible for? And the 3rd R is that relationship, that working relationship. How is that to be given effect with respect? So in dealing with that, you get that out of the way, and then you focus on the key themes that I talk about, and you do observations. That should take no more than 10 minutes to do. The realities of an organisation, be it for-profit, not-for-profit, government body, is the world of work is rapidly changing. We're under more pressure to get it done quicker, faster, better, and less cost. Therefore, there's an implicit thing, well, I have to get it done. But we say that if you reflect on that, the cost of an incident, the downtime involved, the reputational damage, the lack of ability to attract and retain staff are a far higher price to pay than if you planned the work right in the first place and everybody stuck to the principle. So within that we say that no matter what the competing demands are, safety trumps everything else. It's important to remember that you're not trying to predict the future. What you're doing is trying to influence it, a future in which nobody gets hurt, because we actively care for each other.
You've now completed this bite-sized session on behavioural safety, which we hope you've found helpful. You should now have a better understanding of what is behavioural safety and benefits associated with behavioural safety, as well as how to implement it in the workplace.